Hi guys, I'm Vania from grade 9. Today I'm gonna share you a story that has been passed down from generation to generation, and it's all about the origin of Surabaya. Once upon a time, in the northern bay of East Java lived a gigantic crocodile. He was the ruler of the river and a pet predator fed by all the animals in the river area. And his name is Baya. Next to the river, in the vast sea, lived a wild brute shark named Sura. He ruled over the sea, and every sea creature feared him. However, at one time, Sura felt bored because he always eats fish every day. He was wondering about how the other creature tastes. One day, he decided to go to the river, and he found a deer. Suddenly, Sura felt hungry, so he swam silently and jumped out to take on the deer. Sura was so happy to get such a delicious prey. After consuming it, he became addicted because of the flavorful taste. So, on the next day, he hunted back and got a bunch of food. Week by week had passed. Baya became suspicious because it was getting harder and harder for him to find the prey. He started investigating and found out that Sura is the cause. Baya became furious. He confronted Sura and said, "Hey Sura, what are you doing here? This is my territory. How dare you snatch my prey?" Sura wasn't afraid of Baya. He challenged Baya into a fight and replied, "Hey, I can look for food everywhere I want. Here isn't your territory." And arguments turned into fight. They started to bite one another, and because both were strong, the fight took longer time. Day by day, week by week, and all the living creatures in the forest were disturbed by the fight. Finally, they both exhausted. No one won, because both of them were equal. The battle ended with an agreement. Baya will rule over the riverside, while Sura will rule over the sea. For months, the both riverside and sea had calmed down. There were no fight between Sura and Baya. But Sura felt uneasy. He longed for deer meat. There were abundant fish, but it wasn't good enough for him. Sura couldn't bear it, so he snuck and swam to the lower part of the river and said, if I hunt like this, Baya won't know because he lived far up at the river." But unfortunately, no prey approached. Sura was tired waiting. Instantly, he dashed to the forest and attacked on the deer. He dived back to the water and brought the deer into the deep sea and said, "Like this, Baya will notice me if I ate down here at the bottom of the sea." The plan was successful over time. For months, Sura hunted the deer without being discovered. Once again, Baya became suspicious. The number of his prey was decreased, but this time he didn't spot Sura on the river. But he believed this was Sura's doing. Then, Baya set a trap. He placed on a wounded deer at the riverside and gone hiding on the bush. A short time later, Sura swam up to the riverside and saw the injured deer. He felt excited because the deer was fat and looked delicious. "Wow, lucky me. Today I'll have a good feast," he mumbled himself. As he was about to bring the deer into the sea, suddenly Baya confronted him and said, "Hey, you are stubborn, aren't you? You broke our agreement." And Sura replied, "Hey Baya, if you want, you can hunt in the sea as well. I don't mind at all." Baya got angry. Then he attacked Sura. A fight couldn't be prevented. This time, the battle even fiercer than before. No one dared to approach the fighting area. When Sura was off guard, Baya managed to bite his tail. Sura did not want to lose. He counterbite Baya at the neck. Both of them were in pain and seriously injured. However, Baya ripped off Sura's tail, and Sura was in agony. He roared because of the pain, and he ran away, leaving Baya behind. Since then, Sura dared not to approach the riverside, and Baya for sure danced out of happiness.
Cause I'm in a search tonight. So watch me bring down fire, set another light. Shoes on, get up in the bunk of a mill, let's rock and roll. Ha! King Kong, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling quart. Sing song when you walk you home, jump up to the top of the groin. Ding dong, call me on my phone, I see and I get my ping pong. Yes, let's get it, hurry, can you hear the bass boom? I'm ready, ha! Love is with it, sunny, yeah, just get your chin like buddy. Disco all alone, I'm in today, I'm good to go, I'm down, you know I go. Cause I'm in a search tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set another light. Shining through the city with the little funky soul. Light it out my dynamite.
To commemorate the fierce fight, the area was called Surabaya and remained to this day. And that was the story of Surabaya. What we can learn from it is to respect or to honor our promise. Sura did not keep his promise, and he faced the great consequences. So you better keep your promise, or else you'll pay the consequences. See you next time. Bye bye.